What does a Chinese woman want? I think you guys know what I think they want.
Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. It's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you.
Hi guys. In today's video, I want to talk to you about Chinese women. What does a Chinese woman want? I think you guys know what I think they want. And it's not that. If it was that, it would be brilliant. But it isn't. Well, some do, of course. Initially, they do. So I was watching a video of a Chinese lady saying, "What does a Chinese woman want?" You know. So what do you have to bring to the table as a man? They want a man who is. So this woman was interviewing Chinese women in China and asking them what do they want from a man. So it's the usual stuff. Oh, they're responsible, family orientated. Yeah, right. Has a job, is kind. You know, that's what they'll say to you, and that's what you think you have to bring to the table. So you think, oh, wonderful, this is a lovely woman. Notice how the interviewer, though, didn't ask them, what do you bring to the table? I mean, that just, it's as if what men want doesn't really matter. It's only what the ladies want. It's what do you say? It's a ladies' market. It's a buyer's market, whatever. So obviously, the video was meant for men, to show them, to explain to them what Chinese women want if they're interested in Chinese women. And that made me think. And so I'm just going to give you some examples of my personal experiences in China. I don't know, I might be a bit negative because, I have had my own experiences, and I got married to a Chinese lady. But I've heard from other people's experiences as well online that they married their Chinese wife, and initially everything was okay. Then it's called the dragon wife. She became like all controlling, and anything that you do is not good enough. Like some men, they worked hard. They bought a new house. I don't know. They fixed the house. They built, I don't know, outbuildings. They did so much, and this woman was never happy. Like initially happy, but then again, not happy. It's basically hell. It's really hell. And I've heard this from other people who have married Chinese women. So I think, sorry, I just got a call there. Some other scam. Yeah, I get Chinese scams as well. They're it's called the pig butchering scams. You being the pig, and then they butcher you. They fatten you up. Basically, it's like one of those like a romance scam, but in China they call it a pig butchering scam, because you're the pig and they feed the pig. They basically make you fall in love if you have money, that is, and then when the time is right, they'll ask for money, and you're butchered. That's the pig butchering scam. There's loads of scams in China, loads. There's was it the fragile vase, or not the fragile vase, something like the fragile vase. That's another basic one. Don't know, walking down the street, you bump into someone, they fall over, and then you have to pay for all their bills and everything. It's usually like if you're driving or if you've got a moped and they walk right in front of you and you hurt them, and then that's it. Or they scam you, or like there's a person lying on the floor, you go to help them, and then that person says it was you, so you have to go and pay all their bills. That's why a lot of the Chinese people, when there's someone on the floor, they don't go to help because they know of this scam. The problem is, like, many times is actually real. Someone did actually get hurt. But anyway, that's another story. Yeah, I've seen these Chinese women, when they get married, they change and they become really bossy, and the man becomes like a, as they say, there's a word, cuck. The guy becomes like a whimpering idiot, like I became, like I am now as well. And you say, oh, that's, some men will say, some alpha men will say, that's pathetic. Yeah, well, of course it's pathetic. I've given up wanting to fight. I don't want to fight anymore and argue and shout and smash things, because it takes a toll on your mental health. There's only so much fighting you can do. And then you give up. The man just gives up. Take the money, do what you want. Yes, you're right. And you just don't, you just want peace. You just want bloody peace. You don't want any more trouble. Because at the end of the day, the man is always wrong. If a man smashes something in the house and the police are called, the police will come and take you away. Because the police are always, like almost always, they're weaponized against the man. Am I right, or am I right? I'm right. In my case, I got pissed off a few times. I smashed things, and then my wife called the police. And then the police, like, I had to leave the house. I had to actually leave my own house. And my dad, he had, well, this dementia wasn't that bad. The police are bastards. They are. They're like the Gestapo. But I mean, what can they do? I had my wife and kids, and yeah, she got butt hurt. I was coming off medication. She got butt hurt because I argued. I said something bad. Yeah, all right. And she called the police. She said, "Oh, no, I didn't call the police for you. I called the police because I just wanted to go somewhere and maybe they can help me." Yeah, right. Anytime a woman calls the police, she's weaponizing them, because they will come and deal with the man. They're not going to deal with a woman unless she's got some weapon in her hand and trying to hurt someone and completely nuts. Anyway, yeah, that's why sometimes, when sometimes I see these videos or these incidences where there's a black guy. Maybe he's loitering it up to no good, or maybe he's just doing nothing. He's just innocent. And you get these, usually white ladies, they call them Karens. I don't like that word, Karen, but and they phone the police and say he's acting suspicious. And so, like, people have said, oh yeah, these I don't like the word, but these Karens are weaponizing the police against these black men. Initially, I thought, yeah, well, they're down to no good, maybe. But then I thought about it, and I thought, if I was in that black guy's position and I'm innocent, I'd think, yeah, like, you're weaponizing the police against me. Because when the police come, they're not going to trust the black guy. They're gonna trust the woman. One, because he's a black guy. One, because he's a man. So he's got two things against him. What's my point? My point is, women can use their perceived weakness. Oh, a weak woman. Police come and help me. This evil bastard, this evil man is, And the police are idiots, dumb idiots. They will come and they will deal with the man. Yeah, so what's my point? My point is that, in my opinion, what a Chinese woman wants is this. I think what most women want is this, and I have some subscribers saying, no, I'm not like that. Okay, all right. So this isn't directed towards you then. It's directed not towards women at all, actually. It's directed towards men. And, all I'm saying is that in my little experience, my small amount of experience, it's clear what women want. They want security. Maybe not all women are like that, but the women that I've met in China, they want security, because the more traditional the woman, the more traditional the man has to be, i.e., you have to pay for everything. Like when I was in China and I dated women, no woman ever paid for anything. I paid for everything. Okay, like in those countries, you know, when you go for a tea or go for a meal, it's not expensive, and so you can get away with, you know, treating women, you know, every date you treat a woman. Yeah, all she has to do is look beautiful, and that's it. Yeah, in my experience, that's all they want. All they want is that, you know, initially they'll be nice and you know, they want the family, they want this. You know, people might say, "Oh yeah, it's just because you've had a bad experience." No, I've compared notes with other men, and it ends up like that. Now, Filipino women, they might be different. Thai women, I'm not sure. You know, where does a man, like, if a man leaves, doesn't want any of these woke women or women that want this equality stuff, where does he go? If he goes to Asia, you have to be careful there as well. Like, I've been to China, and it seems that all they want is money. At the end of the day, it's money. I can tell you, I mean, there's no point. There's no point. The message is they want money. Here are just tiny examples, okay? First time I went to China, I remember I had this heavy grey coat and almost unshaven. I must have looked terrible. And I met this guy, and he said that he was on his way to soon. He was going to go to Australia. He's a Chinese guy. We made friends, and he took me to like it was a disco or some kind of bar. And so I was sitting down on the table. It wasn't like it was in the evening time, and these two girls was dancing. They were squatting, all going down and squatting next to me, but not that close enough, and they were really sexy. And so this guy, he went up to them and he spoke to them in the ear, because you know it was really loud, the music, and they left. And I thought, what did you do? Did you tell them I was gay or something? And he said, no, no, I just said that you're a poor English teacher. And they left. That was my first example. They weren't working there or working as like, you know, how do you call it? You know, ladies of the night. They weren't that. They were just going there to have a nice time. And they just moved away and they went somewhere else. Another time, like, I met a girl, she worked on the railways. A really nice girl, friendly. She spoke to me about her parents and her family back home in her hometown. And for a few weeks, I used to go and pass by where she worked. Stop it, Timmy. He's chasing the ball. So I used to see her and say hello, just spend a few minutes. I think once I went to a cafe with her when she had some free time. And I thought, nice girl. And then this is what happens. After a few weeks, maybe a month or so, then you'll get the request for money. So after about a month, is it a month or 2 months? We were friends, and she said, "Oh, I need to go back home to my hometown, but I don't have enough money." And I said, "Well, how much money do you need?" It was a lot more than the ticket back home. It was like 800 renminbi or something. I thought, what? She said, "Well, I need it for something for my uncle, or I don't know, some bullshit, my cousin or whatever, you know." And that's it. I just cut ties with her immediately. And it was sad because she was a nice friend until that moment that she asked for money. And there's always that moment. There's always that moment. That moment comes when they want money. You know, because they have to get some profit from you, right? They have to get some money from you. You know, rich foreigner's got money, so I might as well try. And yeah, and that is really sad, you know, because there can't be any real friendships in China between men and women. There always has to be something, some kind of profit. And I knew that from the beginning. I thought, okay, well, the profit is that they can practice English, you know, because English vocabulary is expensive. so they can get that for free, you know. But even though like you practice English vocabulary with a nice girl or even a guy, you still have to pay because you're the foreigner, you're the rich guy, rich white guy, rich Westerner. So in China, many times I just wondered, where are these people, you know, are they really my friends, or are they, is it like a status symbol, I'm like a trophy, or are they're waiting to ask for money? So you never really, you always wondered, you know, are these real friends or not? So yeah, I never trusted if these people were, you know, really genuine, or they, you know, they had to have some kind of profit. They say you can't paint everyone with the same brush. Yeah, you go and live in China for like on and off for 20 years, and then see what you come up with, what conclusion you come up with. You have experiences with Chinese women, and speak to Chinese men, speak to foreign or Western men, and then you'll come to the same kind of conclusion, or you might come to the same conclusion, that I think I, and she's my real friend. Oh, Betty, the old girl. Sorry, I didn't mean offense. Ow, no. Yeah, good girl. Sorry, I'm gonna play with you now. Better pay attention to her now. Oh, there's the other one. The Gaylord, don't lick me. Yeah. So as I was saying, yeah, you might come to the same conclusion. Like Chinese women are nice women, but you can get that. Was it the dragon wife or the dragon woman? Is it dragon wife? Where she's gonna start to control you and make your life hell. You don't make enough money. You're not. You don't have a certain position. You know. And yeah, just being bitchy and being horrible. You know, and the man can't do anything right. I think maybe they're just pushing for a divorce so they can get that settlement. It sounds so harsh, you know, to say that about, you know, if you're a woman, you say, "Oh, you're a misogynist." Well, there's something called misandry, where women actually hate men. I mean, you would have to hate a man so much to take, like, all, you know, half of his, like, the stuff that he's worked for most of his life. You know, you'd have to hate, you know, but nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. We live in a society, especially in the West, where men are hated. There's no way that that men are loved and you know, and treated with respect. If you think about it, like, men live shorter lives than women. You know, so isn't it right that you should at least treat them like nice with respect? No, you know, treat men with respect. That's the misogyny. You know, that's not cool. That's unwoke. No, the position is that men, or especially white straight men, are the bottom of the barrel, and they should be disrespected because of some maybe bad stuff that happened in the past, you know, the last like 10 centuries ago or whatever. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, that's my experience. My experience is that Chinese women really love this. They don't love you. I don't think they're capable of, this is going to be horrible. A lot of these women aren't capable of love. They don't know what love is. They have a certain view of what love is, but they don't, not what I believe love is. You know, maybe that's extreme to say that, you know, but again, you go to China then. If you say it's impossible, how can you say it? Go to China, live there, go and live there, and you'll see how people think. I'm not saying they're bad people. The Chinese people are beautiful people. You know, the culture is lovely. I love China. I love Chinese people, and I love Chinese women. But even Chinese men are complaining. They're saying basically, I saw interviews on, was it on online, and this poor guy, they asked him, "Oh, are you gonna get married? You're gonna have a girlfriend?" He said, "A girlfriend? I can't afford one." Because in China they want so much. They want you to have a car. You have to have a house. You have to pay the dowry as well to the mother and father of the daughter. Oh, sorry, of the lady that you're going to marry. You have to have a good position. You have to be tall. You have to have this. You have to have manners. You have to take the lady. You have to have so many, like there's a laundry list of things that you have to do. What do they bring to the table? Some of them are Wenro, or they're really feminine. In the south of China, sometimes you see these women that are extreme. They speak really. They try and be really, really soft, but it seems fake. I've heard a few. Actually, I was in the supermarket one time in Jiaxing, and I heard one of these guys speaking. So I thought it was one of these ladies, because some really are really extreme. I turned around and it was a bloke. I thought, oh God, bloody hell. It was a guy maybe in his 60s with the grey hair. I thought, okay. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, but a lot of the men in China now have a problem, because I think the ratio now is, what is it, like especially in even provincial areas, you have 130 men to 100 women. So it's skewed now. It's skewed. You have an imbalance, basically. If I'm not mistaken, you have more men than women. Because of the one-child policy in the past, they used to have just only one child, and they used to abort or get rid of female like girls, because in China you have this this old idea that when you're old, your sons or your son will look after you, whereas if you have a daughter, she usually goes with the husband and the husband's family. So you're screwed if you have a daughter. If you have a son, then the son will always look after the mother and father when they're older. This is an ancient or traditional way of thinking. So that's why they had the one-child policy, and then they minimized the number of girls. But now they've changed it. Now you can have as many children as you want. But the problem is that now it's skewed. You have more men than women. And it's going to become even worse, because these men, they don't want to get married because these women ask for so much. I mean, they literally ask for so much. There's these markets where you can go and look for a woman, okay? I had a Chinese friend in Jiaxing, and we went to a newspaper, a building, a media, like the local newspaper office, and you go into a room there, and they gave you there's a whole list, like the files of women that are looking for men, and this is the kind of man they want. And me and him, we just looked, and we thought, oh, it's really interesting, like loads and loads of papers. We just looked, some are quite nice, and they want this, they want that. So you have markets as well, a kind of like a market, or a place where they men and women go to meet up. And I think that there was one lady I saw on YouTube. Well, many of them, they're like graduated, they've got, I don't know, PhD, or they're very well educated, and like they can't find a husband. Why? Because they want so much. They want so much. No man can actually qualify. So this is happening, or seems to happen also in the West, where women price themselves out of the market. How many men can afford to have this and that? You know, a house, a car, a good job, have to be tall, have to have, it's just too much. So at the moment, you have that in China, and I felt that as well. A lot of people think, Chinese are quite down to earth. No, they're snobby, very snobby. As soon as they have a little bit of money, they have a not a servant, but somebody like someone who looks after the children. I lived there in China, and I saw these women. They would have like an old a person from the province, from the countryside, and they need money, so they would do the cleaning for them. They would look after their children. I saw it a lot, especially with my foreign friends. I used to see them. They'd have a child or two, and then if they had a little bit of money, like if the husband was making some money, they have a bloody not a servant, but somebody who takes the children out, does a little bit of cleaning, a bit of cooking, and they could those women could save that money, for the family. Instead, as soon as they reach a certain position, they want to be like treated like princesses and like queens. I saw that so many times in China. So this is what I think of Chinese women. I think they're beautiful. It's unfortunate for me because I've got yellow fever. So, I like white women and black women. They're really sexy, and not all, but some black women are really nice. Some white women are truly wonderful. But they don't do nothing for me. I mean, the Chinese type of woman, some Thai women and Japanese women, I just like that Asian look. They're petite, they're very small. I like the face structure, the eyes, everything. The color as well. They're not black, they're not white, they're yellowish. Maybe because I've got Gilbert syndrome. Gilbert syndrome is when you've got kind of a sluggish liver and your bilirubin levels are high, and so you tend to be a bit yellow. Yeah, so maybe that's it. I want someone to match my face, my color, and I'm all yellow today. Look, yeah, that's the problem with me. Like I've had I've got a few experiences with Chinese women. The only experiences that were good ones are the ones that I didn't pursue, and I'm thinking if I did pursue them, it would have ended up in disaster. I would have found out that they're bossy, and some people might say, "Oh yeah, it's you." And I've thought about this in the past. I thought maybe I'm the problem. They only boss men who are weak or beta, or they can grind down. They can bully into submission. But it's not true, because I've heard of countless, like lots of men who've been married to Chinese women, and a lot of them have gone through the same situation. Yeah, this one guy I just saw the other day, like he married his wife, he did everything for her. He bought a new house. He constructed more buildings. Basically, he did everything that she wanted, and she still put him under pressure like a bloody workhorse. And the guy was making a lot of money as well. Or hang on, I'll tell a lie. I'm not sure if it was a lot of money, but he was making decent money. Sorry, because what is a lot of money? He was making decent money. It's not like he was unemployed or on benefits. And so what I'm saying is, even if I was making money, my wife might have still ended up like complaining or not being happy. This is something that happens in the Chinese woman's mind. What's wrong with them? What is the problem? Maybe I have to try and understand what that dragon wife, what it means. I don't know. I know what it feels like for a man, but why are they like that? Some people are gonna comment, well, we're not all like that. Yeah, well, Yeah, I agree. Probably not all like that, but I'm just fed up. Fed up with my brain because I like them. I like Chinese women, but I don't like the stress. I don't like the. So, like a lot of people say, "Oh, go for a Filipino woman." Filipino women, I don't. They don't. They're not as beautiful. Chinese women are really beautiful. Some are really beautiful. In certain areas of China, you get some women that are so they're so pretty, not beautiful, pretty, really pretty. Um, but also the Filipino women have a similar problem. Like if they, it's difficult to communicate with them, with the Chinese women as well. There's a difference in culture. They don't really understand the sarcasm or like that banter or anything like that. They don't get it, and they have their own humor, which I don't get at all. You know, but it's understandable because I don't even get Italian humor. Like sometimes I watch Italian TV and they make a joke. The punchline comes, and I think, what was funny about that? I didn't really understand. I didn't get it. It's like childish humor. I didn't get it. Those are my thoughts today. Let me know in the comments what you feel. If you've had experiences with Chinese women. Oh, just one last thing. The Filipino women, if they get pissed off with you, they do something called tampo. Tampo, not tampon, but tampo means they'll give you the silent treatment and not talk to you for a few hours or a few days even. And the thing is, you don't know what the hell you did wrong. If you ask them, "Oh, sorry, love, babe, what did I do wrong? I won't talk to you." That would be frustrating as F. That would be terrible. You know, I would say to one of these women, no tempo. If you do tempo, that's it. There's no, because you can't live like that. You know, you need to know what you did wrong. Yeah. So, if you guys have had any experiences with Chinese women, similar experiences, let me know. If you guys have had wonderful experiences with Chinese women, you know, still together after 30, 40 years, you know, never argued in your life, you know, let me know. And also, I'd wonder what other things you'd lie about as well, because I don't think that relationship exists. But not because I haven't had any, but because I haven't read of any. Well, anyway, you know, it takes all sorts. You might have, of course, there are some that are really nice. They must exist, right? Let me know, guys, if you've had similar experiences with Asian women down below. Okay, guys, I'll speak to you another day. All right. And share.
Your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. It's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you.